greed was touching him and saying, "You're on a roll, boy. Push your edge. You know it's going to go right up there. You know it's going to go down there. And if it does, you're going to make $1,000. Your dad's going to be so proud of you. He's going to put your ass on Twitter. You're going to be on blast. Imagine how good it's going to feel. And $1,000. It's $1,000. Don't you want to make that $1,000? Come on. Hold it a little bit longer. Yeah. The rules say to close it right here. But take the limit order off. Take it off. You don't need that. It's holding you back. It's holding you back. Go a little bit further, just a little bit further down the road. That's where the better destination is. That's where all the cool cats hang out. You don't have discipline, but the only way you can forge that discipline is by using these fucking rules. Okay? What rules are they? You have to know where you're aiming for. Because if you aim at nothing, you'll hit it every time. And for some of you, that went right over your head. But you have to have a target. You have to have a target in mind where you're aiming for with price. What is it reaching for? If you can't ascertain that by looking at a chart, you have absolutely no business pushing a button where you incur risk, even if it's demo, because the outcome is going to be detrimental to your development, because you're going to be feeding yourself toxic results that were rooted on no real rhyme or reason or model, but you're going to take it as a kick in the ass. You're going to take it as failure. You're not getting what you want, a dopamine hit. So you're treating it like an ex-girlfriend or an ex-boyfriend that were toxic and they just keep calling you and you don't want nothing to do with them. That's eventually what you'll treat business with, relationships. That way, you'll have that same thing towards the markets and trading, which is the reason why I talk to you this way. I use analogies so that way you can draw parallels to something that, oh, I understand what that feels like. I don't want that to feel like that when I'm trading. Don't do the shit you're doing. Do the things I'm telling you to do and avoid the things I tell you to avoid. Everybody else that tries to do these things can't say that much. That's the facts. So when the facts speak for themselves, that yes, this stuff works. Yes, you can be young and inexperienced and still have a very simple model, but do you have discipline to follow? Do you have the discipline to do what it is you're supposed to do and stop when you're supposed to stop? They bumped him up to 5 contracts. You can now trade 5 contracts. And that's what he fell victim to when he was doing his combines. He was trying to do the $150,000 account, and he was trading with 15 contracts because it says you can trade up to 15 contracts. He didn't do the math. He didn't think about it. He didn't know with experience the normal volatility of NASDAQ. Man, it can flutter around in seconds, 10, 15 handles, and be nowhere still. You can't be trading with 15 fucking contracts, okay? You can't do that. $300 per point or handle in a market that can fluctuate just in static noise, okay? And I said that with conviction. When it's just gyrating normally in a 1-minute candle, it can flutter around and you can be up or down thousands of dollars. When you don't have any experience or the grasp of money, the value of money, he was just discovering it as an employee at a coffee shop. Prior to that, any money he ever had was given to him at Christmas or a birthday. See, he doesn't have any real tangible clue what the value of money is. He was earning that and learning it. And then when you put him into a situation and put yourself in a situation like this, where you have the ability to see, wow, if I close the trade at that moment, I can be up $1,000. I can be up $5,000 in less than 5 minutes. What's he going to do? What are you going to do? You're going to try to do that every single time. And that's how they get you. That's how this industry gets you. That's how your broker gets you. And I'm trying to be the voice of reason and say, okay, there's a day and a time for you to be making $5,000 in trades. There is. It's just not today. You need to be comfortable and humble in the beginning, trading with one micro lot, trying to get those 10 handles. Graduate to 15 handles. Can you get 20? Can you consistently do 20? Each day, can you do 20 handles? If you can do that, all you're doing then is then getting accustomed to now trading with 2 micros. That's $10 per point if it's an ES, or $4 if it's a NASDAQ. But I can't get rich that way. Who the fuck says you can't get rich? Who said that? You just did. Nobody else told you that. You got in your head that you need to be rich overnight, and nobody's doing that in trading anyway. Why the hell you think you're going to be the one that's going to do it? Listen, all the Lambos, all the Lexus, Mercedes Benz, the bullshit Audis, all that stuff, you can lease them for pennies on the fucking dollar and have a write-off. Okay? All that stuff is easily obtained. You don't need to have that to encourage you as a trader to get the attention of other people. Oh, you're a trader. Look at that. Look, you're driving a leased vehicle. And there's no knock against a lease. The facts are this. When you submit yourself to a rule-based idea, you now have a petri dish that you've placed yourself in. And it's a controlled environment that you're willingly placing yourself in. You can walk out of it anytime you want. But to do so exhibits what? A lack of discipline. The whole point is for you to develop discipline. How do you do that? By placing yourself in a rule-based, controlled environment. You can only do this, you can never do this, and you can only do it this time and never that time. You can only look at this market. You can only do this in price when it does this. You cannot do anything else. Once you press the button one time, when you get out of that trade, whether it's good or bad, you cannot press that button again until another 24 hours have passed. So, do you have the discipline to do that? My question today is, do you have that discipline to do that for at least 20 trading days? Some of you can't even do it one. And I know I was like that. I know exactly what that feels like. It feels like I could be doing so much. This is so counterproductive. This is counterintuitive. I should be doing it. No. You want to learn how to make money. You want to learn how to trade. You want to learn how to trade consistently. You want to be able to control your emotions, control fear, greed, FOMO, all that stuff. All those things. You're worrying about all those things. And I'm telling you how to defeat all that stuff right here. My son encountered all that stuff. He saw what it looks like to have money flashing in those trades. And he didn't close them when he felt like he should have. Greed was touching him and saying, "You're on a roll, boy. Push your edge. You know it's going to go right up there. You know it's going to go down there. And if it does, you're going to make $1,000. Your dad's going to be so proud of you. He's going to put your ass on Twitter. You're going to be on blast. Imagine how good it's going to feel. And $1,000. It's $1,000. Don't you want to make that $1,000? Come on. Hold it a little bit longer. Yeah. The rules say to close it right here. But take the limit order off. Take it off. You don't need that. It's holding you back. It's holding you back. Go a little bit further. Just a little bit further down the road. That's where the better destination is. That's where all the cool cats hang out. There it is. It's over. Shit the bed. Trade turnaround, reversed on him, and become a losing trade. How many times have you been there? How many times have you heard that voice whispering in your ear? Don't close it. Don't do it. Don't close the trade. Go for more. Yeah, you didn't think about that before you put the trade on, but look, you're smarter now. You're in the trade. Yeah, you're smart now, aren't you? The only thing smarting is your ass. It hurts something. The facts are, you have to submit yourself to a whole lot of uncomfortable things, and you have to defer gratification. And that's what makes this hard. It makes it so hard because you want to have something to hold your hat on, to cling to as a reason to keep going. Okay. And the fact that you're progressing and doing things in a controlled environment, and you're not losing the discipline, you're not doing things recklessly, you're not demanding it to do more than you want it to do, and being content with that, that is progress. That is immaculate. That is impeccable. That is the cream of the crop type of progress that you want to hold on to throughout your entire career. Because number one, it's realistic. It's required to be having any longevity in this industry. You have to be absolutely dialed in and filtering out all these intrusive thoughts of doing things that's outside your model and not allowing for circumstances that are outside of your model to yield a profit that you can't boast about, that you can't champion, you can't parade around and say, look what I did. But when you take a step back and think about what you did to get there, how did it happen? I can't replicate that. So therefore, why are you bragging about it? Tell nobody you did it, and tell yourself in your journal, this doesn't count. I should not be doing these things, and I'm going to refrain from doing it. That's not beating yourself up. That's scolding yourself without having any negative connotations added to it. Very, very critical. You're going to do it, folks. It's human nature. We're going to do it. Until I leave this body, I'm going to make mistakes. And as a trader, you are going to do things that you know you shouldn't do or regret that you did it. And experience will teach you, don't do that again. Those are the two transactions that you have to submit to and accept the consequences of it. And you can look at them and say, this is enough for me to never want to do it again. And some do that. Smarter people do that. If they know they will never be able to wrestle themselves into submission and build and forge discipline, the best thing you can do is stop and never do it again. Limit your losses to that and just say, you know what? I tried. I learned a lot about myself. I don't have the discipline to do that. And if I kept doing it, I would lose more money. That is a win. That is someone that is mature and they understand their limitations as a human being. And they said, this is not for me. There it is. It's done. I'm going to go do something else with my life. And guess what? Life will still continue. It ain't going to, it's not going to put you in the grave. You can't do this. That's one thing. But as traders, we can't imagine doing anything but this for the rest of our life. And for some of you to have that feeling right now and you haven't found profitability yet or consistency, you've already subscribed to that. That's your lifestyle now. You're always going to be doing this. You can't imagine yourself never doing this or not doing it, rather. That's a characteristic. That's a trait in a trader that needs to be there. If you can't imagine a time when you're not doing this inside of you, that's the person I'm trying to help you cultivate. That's the trader in you. That's the person that is trying to grow. And many of you are stifling that growth. You're choking it. You're smothering it by constantly feeding toxicity to it, worrying about stuff that doesn't help that person in you as a trader grow. You're holding that person back. And it's a perfect excuse why you failed, because you're doing it to yourself. Because deep down inside, you don't believe you deserve to be successful.